And welcome to this quick tour of Project in a Box Personal Edition. Personal Edition sits in the Project in a Box product family in the same sort of space as Community Edition. It's a fully portable, files-based system. It doesn't have multiple users, so there's no login security required, and it's aimed at personal users as a tool they can take with them. But it's much more significant than Community Edition in terms of its functionality set. It has multiple method templates, and you can personalize the method templates and also customize the projects created from them. It also has a reporting engine and email integration, as well as a number of other features. So sits somewhere between Community Edition and Small Team Edition, and really is perfectly aimed at consultants and contractors, allowing them to take and manage their projects in a more professional way within an end user, end customer environment where they don't necessarily have admin rights to the PC. So normally they wouldn't be able to install any software, but with Personal Edition they can take that on a USB stick if they want to and just plug it into a host machine. So all the sort of functionality areas are covered in more detail in the routine tours, but this is just a quick run through how this feels in Personal Edition. So same sort of thing as you'll be used to seeing already, portfolios and projects, allowing us to group our projects together if we want to, or I can select a project and follow through that appropriate method. In this case it's Full Prints 2009 type of project, and as I get down to the bottom level of documents, it shows me the documents that are relevant on this particular point in the process, and obviously if we move around that process we get a different list of documents. Something that's present in all our new method templates is the including guidance on that. So as you hover over the particular document, it shows you some information about what you need to do with it. And then obviously we can work our way down into files. We can view the current file just by clicking on it in that very familiar way now, or we can check it out to work on it by using the button here. Very simple. Make some changes, save those, and then as Project in a Box has used its own check-in, check-out folders, we can then very quickly check that back in. Even a comment if we want to. And we see that updated in the audit trail. So very easy to work with standard templates provided as part of the project, gets us up and running very much more quickly. But we also need to store within our project library, if you like, and all the correspondence and other information that we collect and produce as we go through the life cycle. So adding additional files is very easy. We just drag them, and it can be any sort of file we want, onto the tree here, and it'll drop it into the current document. So here we are, email from Pete. We'll see that now added into that document, and so that's built into now the structure of the project. And we can do that with any sort of file we want to. Emails are very good because it just allows you to keep that. Often a lot of the correspondence is done that way, and it keeps it all in context with the rest of the project documentation. Something that's different on personal version is the ability to keep notes against files. So we have this file notes facility here. Free-form notation, which allows us to keep, if you like, a to-do list or notes about who we sent the thing to or what we're going to do with it, etc. And that's all then searchable, so you can search for the whole project for those file notes, allowing you to keep track of things you've been expecting to do. Next thing to have a quick look at is reporting. So we've included the core elements of reporting from the multi-user environment onto Personal Edition. We extract data here from two different sources. You can have data included in your project reports automatically from files held within your system. So for example, project finances, risk issue, quality logs, those sort of things that might be Excel based. Plan data can come from Microsoft project files, from a number of open source applications, and also from an Excel template if you want it to. So you can collect data in a routine sort of way, manage those files, have them shipped in and out to people, and then when you want to produce a report, it will go away and get the data from the latest available version of those files and include that into your report for you. We also have a project manager's form for managing status and commentaries and those sort of information, and bringing all that together into some reports. So if I run a project report here, a little wizard allows me to select the various elements I want to include, goes away and gets the data from those various files and packages that up for me. Very quick and slick. We can very easily change the styling to put our own logos on these sort of things, change the blob colours and all that sort of thing. And we can see here information on each of the various stages. Or if I want to go and look at the plan information, I can see brought that data out of Microsoft Project Plan, giving me some key information, and then redrawn the Gantt chart. And it'll do that whichever source of information we choose to use. Got some risk issue quality information there as well. Now I can also run those sort of reports against the portfolio, and in those circumstances it will group together the finance data, if you like, or the plan data from each of the 5, 6, 7, 8 projects in the portfolio into a summary sheet at the top, so I can very quickly get all that added together, which is fantastically helpful. Collecting consistent data across all your projects, it can then roll it up very easily for you. Saves a lot of time in terms of report production. So next thing to have a look at quickly is different methods. As I mentioned, we have a wide range of different method types provided as standard within the system here. We've got Access P2 for very light, simple Prince2 projects, in keeping with 2009 Prince2 method, but just some much reduced documentation set for light, less complex projects. Sort of helps you through that tailoring of the method by giving you a starting point. Similar sort of thing available for an intermediate size of project. This looks much more obviously like the full Prince, but has a slightly lighter set of documents included in it. We also support agile methods and sales methodologies, etc. So lots of things you can do here, and the key thing to remember is that you can personalize and customize these yourself, or create your own completely bespoke methods. So if you have a method that you want to use with your customers, you can build that into here. And the last thing to have a quick look at is the portability element. So if I go and look at my options for personal version, you can see that currently it's in its default mode, and that means that the application is sat within program files, and all my check-in, check-out folders, etc. are sat within my user profile. If I want to go to portable mode, switch that on, I come back and look at my program settings, we'll now see it's put everything into a Project in a Box Personal Edition folder, which is still sat in program files, but I can then take that folder and just copy it to a USB stick and take it away with me, do whatever I want to. And what that means is actually, in terms of backup and management of your system, you can take a full copy at any time you want of your projects and your system configuration, etc. Store it somewhere, so if you need to go back to it, you can. And you can take it out on a USB stick and work away with it to your heart's content. All you need on a host machine when you come to plug it in is the .NET framework available. Obviously, if you want to follow links out onto the web and use email, you'll need to have some sort of capability like that on the host machine. But it's pretty simple to set up and use. Okay, that's just a quick run through. On the sort of commercial side, Personal Edition is £99 plus VAT. And that's a fantastic price to get all access to all the guidance materials and the templates and content that's here, which will save you no end of time in setting up and running your projects in line with these standard methods, Prince2 and DSTM Return. Thank you very much.